Today we are going to understand the topic in number 5, which is photogrammetry. As we have studied GIS, we have studied GPS as well as remote sensing. Without being physically in contact with the area, we have done the surveys by using the different methods. Photogrammetry also one of the method in which, as the name itself indicates, that by using photos we have to analyze the data, we have to analyze the topography. Photogrammetry, there are two words, photograph and metry. So photo is nothing but a regular photo, and metry stands for understanding the information in 3 dimensions, understanding the information through 3-dimension view. Okay, so in these photographs, though it is in 2-dimensional, by using some stereoscopes, it is one of the instrument by using which, by using some lenses, we are going to analyze these photos in 3-dimensional views. And by using this particular photogrammetry, we are going to analyze, interpret the area. Okay, so the basic definition of photogrammetry is photogrammetry is a science of obtaining information of the area by interpreting, analyzing the photos. In this photogrammetry, photographs are the main information or main source of information for finding out the details. Okay, so by using these photos, clicking the photos, taking the photos at particular distances, we are going to analyze these photos, we are going to find out the details about the detailed information about the photos. And by using these photos, there are some areas where we physically cannot be in contact, just like the wild forest. It is again one of the kind of area where physically we cannot be in contact with the area. Without being in contact, we have to do the area, we have to find out the area, we have to find out the survey of the particular area. So in that cases, we have to go for the photogrammetry. Okay, so second here, let's start with this. What are the different types of photogrammetry? Photogrammetry is mainly divided in metric photogrammetry, and second one is interpretative photogrammetry. Interpretative photogrammetry. So these are the two. Photogrammetry is broadly divided into 2 types. One is metric and second is interpretative photogrammetry. In metric photogrammetry, we are going to analyze the length, size, or we can say dimension. We can say the dimension area. These are the different terms that we are going to find out by using this metric photogrammetry. Of course, length, sizes, dimensions, area, those are to be analyzed or those are to be found out by using the photographs only. Those photographs and analyzed are kept under a mirror stereoscopes. Mirror stereoscopes are having lenses. By turning the lenses in appropriate direction, we are going to analyze, we are going to see those photos in 3 dimensions, and then find out the length, find out the size or dimension or area of that particular photo. That is nothing but that is included in the metric photogrammetry. the topographical maps are also used for the preparation of metric photogrammetry. Topographical maps are also required for the metric photogrammetry. Okay. Now next one is interpretative photogrammetry. Here we are not going to check. We are not going to analyze. We are not going to put a tape to find out the length, size, dimension, or area on the photograph. But here, without going for in detail with the dimensional analysis, we can see in interpretative photogrammetry, we are going to analyze the photo. We are going to interpret the photo. As the name itself indicates, we are going to analyze, interpret, and then find out the conclusion of that particular photo. Most of the times, interpretative photogrammetry is used for identifying some objects, identifying any kind of objects that are that are there on the topography, and whether it is hill, whether it is valley, whether it is a forest area, that those things or these kind of topics can be studied under interpretative photogrammetry. Understood, second year? Now, second year, as we have understood metric and interpretative, there are again two types of photographs to be taken. One types of photographs. One is aerial photograph. One is aerial. And second one is terrestrial photograph. In aerial photographs, the camera is mounted in an aeroplane moving with a some specific speed, and those cameras are going to catch that particular area at a particular interval. Okay, so if I would like to draw a figure of this aerial photographs, so it will like this. Suppose, let us say I am going to just draw an aeroplane like this. Suppose it is aeroplane. Just imagine that this is something like this, and this aeroplane will be moving at particular height from the ground, and it contains a camera over here. Let us say this is the space provided for the camera, and it will be capturing the area. It will be capturing the area from which that aircraft is moving. Camera mounted in an aircraft, and the photos taken from this kind of arrangement is called as aerial photographs. Most of the times, aerial photographs will cover larger area. They will cover larger area as compared with the terrestrial photographs. What is terrestrial photograph, second year? If I try to tell you the terrestrial photograph, suppose this is the ground level. This is the ground level, and the camera is mounted on some vertical member just like this, and it will be capturing the areas. It will be capturing this particular areas. So camera is over here. This is for a particular height. This is for a particular height. Okay, this is a vertical member. In terrestrial photographs, the camera is mounted on some member just above your ground level, and it can only cover the area just near to this camera. If we compare the terrestrial photographs and aerial photographs, most of the times the area covered by aerial photographs are larger than area covered by the terrestrial photographs. Okay, so these are the two types of photogrammetry we can say, or the types of photographs that are most of the times used for the photogrammetry, for capturing the images, for capturing the photos. We mostly go for the aerial photographs. What is aerial photographs? The camera is mounted on an aircraft, and aircraft is moving with some specific speed at some height from the ground, at some height from the ground. Whereas terrestrial photographs are nothing but the camera is just mounted at some particular height from the ground level, and it is not moving. It is, of course, it is a constant type of a camera. It is not moving. This is the main difference between the aerial photographs and the terrestrial photographs. Second year, the next types of photographs will be, which is based on the vertical axis of your photo. Previously we have seen that if aircraft is used, it is aerial photograph, and if it is just placed just above your ground, it is your terrestrial photographs. That is again depends on the vehicles used for mounting of the camera. Here the base is the vertical axis. Okay, there are two types of photographs based on the vertical axis. One is vertical photograph, second is oblique photograph. One is vertical photograph, and second one is oblique photograph. Let us see what is vertical photograph. In vertical photograph, if I draw a figure, here this is our datum plane. This is our vertical axis, and these are the lenses. Now here, as we were discussing about the aerial photograph as well as the terrestrial photographs, if we consider the aerial photographs, camera is mounted in an aeroplane. Camera is mounted in an aeroplane, and aeroplane is moving with some particular height from the ground. Let us say this is the ground, and it is capturing the images. Now, if this vertical axis is exactly perpendicular with your datum surface, then those photographs are called as vertical photographs. Again, as I said, camera is mounted in an aeroplane. If camera is mounted in an aeroplane, most of the times the vertical axis very rarely will keep perpendicular to this datum surface. Okay, but if it is keeps vertical exactly means perpendicular to the datum surface, then it is called as your vertical photograph. However, it is most difficult to keep your vertical axis exactly vertical or exactly perpendicular with the datum surface. If your vertical axis is not perpendicular with the datum surface, then those photographs are called as oblique photographs. Normally the tilt of vertical axis is allowed tilt is 1 degree to 3 degree. Of course, when aircraft is moving, there are some chances that this vertical axis may get tilted on both the sides. So tilt of 1 degree to 3 degree is allowed for the vertical photograph. If your camera axis is tilted more than 3 degrees, then we cannot say that this is the vertical photograph, then we have to call it as a oblique photograph. Okay, I am going to draw a second figure where we will see that vertical axis may not be truly vertical and it may not be truly perpendicular with the datum surface. Oblique aerial photographs. Oblique aerial photographs. I have drawn a tilt more than allowed, which is more than 3 degrees in vertical photograph. So it is obviously a oblique photograph. This is our vertical axis which was tilted by more than 3 degrees. Now this is one of the case where your camera is mounted in an aircraft. We have tried to take aerial photographs, but as it is more tilted, as the vertical axis is tilted more than 3 degrees, we will call it as an oblique photograph. One more figure is that for the oblique photograph. Students, please try to draw the figure in your notebook and note down the details of the figure. Now this horizontal axis is called as horizon. And this is our axis, this is our vertical axis. So here, if I name these two figures with numbers, say this is our first, say this is our second. This first figure will be called as low oblique photograph. Low oblique photograph. Low oblique photograph. Why? Because it is have taken a tilt. Again, if you compare these two figures, it is less tilted as compared with this. So this is the second figure is called as high oblique photograph. High oblique photograph. Here you can see that this is the horizon, this is the axis, and it is having more tilt than the first figure, so this is called as a high oblique photographs. Okay, so second year we have learned today the introduction part for photogrammetry. We have seen the types of photogrammetry based on the area, based on the vehicle, which is the metric photogrammetry and interpretive photogrammetry. Then we have seen aerial photographs as well as terrestrial photographs. And third, we have seen that based on vertical axis, one will be vertical photograph and second one will be the oblique photograph. If you look at towards the oblique photograph, again there are two cases. One is low and second one is high oblique photograph. Okay. So yes, today we'll stop for today's session. We will see more details later on. Thank you, students.